everybody, I'm Reggie, 1/3 of All Read What She's Reading, and today I thought it'd be fun to do a little bookish slash just to get to know me Q&A. I originally was going to do a bookshelf tour. I set these bookshelves up and I filmed a whole video, and then the reality of that was I've never filmed in my basement before when my kids are upstairs, so it was pure chaos. So here's a little teaser of me setting up my bookshelves. As you may know, I have an unfinished basement and there's nowhere upstairs that I've really kept my books because I just don't have a space for a bookshelf. And I finally set some bookshelves up in my basement, which you'll see from the video. It looks okay right here, but everywhere else behind me is just pure unfinished basement, dingy basement vibes. But I got them up and I'm so happy. It's so fun to see all of my books in one spot because it's crazy how many books I've acquired over the past couple years during this reading journey. So to be able to see them all together in one place is making my heart very happy. So we're gonna get into some questions that you guys asked me on Instagram, and I'm really excited to answer them because some of these were really fun. Before we get started, a few basic things about me. I'm 29. I'll be turning 30 this year. That's crazy. Like I said, I'm a mom of 2. I have 2 little girls, and I'm a photographer slash videographer. I'm not working as much as I used to now that I have 2 kids, but that's been my entire life pretty much, is being behind a camera. So being in front of it now feels so weird with all the stuff we've been doing with the podcast, but it's so fun and I love being here. So without further ado, here are your questions that I'll do my best to answer. What is your most loved book series? Oh, this is literally so hard. I think right now in this moment, I'm probably gonna have to say The Hunger Games. You guys are probably like, Reggie, shut up already. We know how much you love The Hunger Games, but you guys, I can't get enough. I don't know if any of you have watched We Were Liars. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the guy, one of the leads in We Were Liars, is playing young Haymitch in the Sunrise on the Reaping movie coming out next year. And there's been so many edits on my For You page. I literally cry over it every single day. I just made my husband watch A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes with me the other night, and he's gonna start reading Sunrise on the Reaping. So I'm very excited to watch all the movies again and revisit these books before the movie comes out next year. I have read this series, well, the first 3 books. I have read the first 3 books 3 times. And I'm just obsessed. I just think there's something so cool over the fact that those books were such a big part of like middle school, junior high for me, and now they're playing such a big part into my adult life. And so I think that's why I love it so much and why it's probably my favorite series, and I love that everything is connected. It's insane. So I'm gonna have to go with Hunger Games. What hobbies do you have outside of reading? So like I said, love photography. I love shooting videos. I'm really into like home movies right now of my kids, which maybe to some that doesn't sound like a hobby, but it's just so fun to be like, I grew up with a camera in front of my face with my parents just like filming my every move on their camcorder. And so it's so fun for me to get to be that kind of mom for my kids now. I love baking sourdough and just baking in general, which is a problem because I gotta go gluten-free now, and if anyone has any gluten-free baking recipes that you love, send them my way because I gotta start doing that soon. But I love baking. I love being in the kitchen. My husband definitely does more of the cooking. I do more of the baking, but it's something I definitely love, especially when I can like listen to an audiobook while I do it. My favorite thing. My other favorite hobby is traveling. It's an expensive one, but it's a favorite of mine. Someone did ask my favorite place I've traveled to. Okay, I'm gonna go with Thailand for number 1 because I lived there for a semester and I've gone back since and spent like a month there. So I've spent the most time there, so therefore I love it so much. I love the food, I love the people, the vibes. It's one of my favorite places on the planet. And I think number 2 I would have to say Italy, specifically the Dolomites. I just had a really crazy cool experience there, and it was a place we literally traveled to on a whim. So I'd probably say there. And then for third, I think I'm gonna go with Morocco because that was just a very unique travel experience from what I've done in the past. I got to go with like a travel tourism group as the photographer and go with a bunch of women in business, and it was one of the coolest experiences of my life, and I would love to go back. So yeah, traveling would probably be my other favorite hobby outside of reading. Longest book on your bookshelf. I'm gonna guess it's probably Kingdom of Ash, or is House of Flame and Shadow longer? I'm going based off of pages, not word count. Oh, it's definitely Kingdom of Ash. Because Kingdom of Ash is 900 and... no, it's 1,000. Right? It's almost 1,000 pages. It's 984. I think it is definitely Kingdom of Ash, which I will be starting here within the next couple of weeks for the second time. What would your perfect day be if money wasn't an object? Honestly, just anywhere. It would have to be a destination because, you know, why not? So it would have to be a place just with really good food, lots of activities for my kids, really nice weather. Yeah, give me good weather, good food, happy kids, in a new place. Nice weather. That sounds like my perfect day. This is my most asked question, and that's how do you get reading in with kids or just like balance, you know, the podcast, work, reading. And I'd recommend watching a YouTube video I did a couple months back where I just did a week in my life of reading. I feel like I share a lot on there, but audiobooks are honestly what saved my life. I started Drowned in the Name of Love. I think it's maybe been over a week ago. I'm only 25% of the way through the book and it's on my Kindle. I don't know when I'm going to sit down and read it. Like maybe tonight before I go to bed. I need to prioritize that, but I pretty much do most of my reading via audiobooks, and I really wish that wasn't the case. And I wish I had more time to sit down and read, but there's just so little time for that when you're chasing kids around all day. And I have to like edit in the evenings or work on podcast stuff. So it is kind of crazy, but I will say audiobooks have been a game changer. I basically just listen to them while I'm doing anything and everything. Obviously I make time to be present with my kids and do stuff with them, but while they watch a movie or, like yesterday they played out in the sprinklers outside and I just sat and read my book for a little bit. It's challenging. I also think that reading can be a great hobby for moms because it's just a way to kind of escape the craziness of the day. How did you get your husband into reading? A few people asked me this, and I think it's because I mentioned that he's read Red Rising, but that's really all he's read recently since, he was like junior high, other than things he's needed to read for school. So the reason that he picked Red Rising up was because we were going on vacation and he was like, I need a book to read by the pool or on the beach. And I was like, I have something for you. And so he took Red Rising, finished it, started Golden Sun, almost finished that right before we left our trip, and he loved it. He still hasn't started Iron Gold. Actually, he did read the first chapter the other day, but he said he was bored. I'm like, babe, you gotta... It's just the world building. You're trying to get back into the story. It's just... Anyways, he's gonna pick that up before Red God is released. He wants to read them closer to then. But... a vacation? And, I don't know. I think Red Rising is a great book to get any boyfriends or husbands, brothers, whoever, into reading because it's not... There's romance in it, but it's very, very minimal. It's definitely not the plot. It's fun if your significant other loves space, like loves Star Wars or Star Trek. They'll probably really enjoy this. My husband grew up reading a lot of like Harry Potter and like Aragon, those kind of books. So I knew that he would like something sci-fi or fantasy, and that's what we started with. And like I said at the beginning of the video, he's going to be starting Sunrise on the Reaping soon. So I think it's just like a vacation for me was what gave him the push. So this is me telling you to take a vacation so your husband will read. Favorite snack? Okay, currently my hyperfixation snack is specifically the Siete tortilla chips with just dipping them in pico, tomato, cilantro, jalapeno, onion, Roma tomato. Did I already say that? Just dice it up, lime juice. I can't stop eating it. My other favorite snack at the moment is also cottage cheese. You put in a little bit of ranch seasoning and dice up some cucumbers. It's so tasty. So those are probably my two snacks that I would recommend and that I'm obsessed with right now. Mystery / suspense book recs. I don't own very many thrillers, mysteries, and I wish I had more. When I first started getting into reading, that was what I read a lot of. But I know once fall hits, I have a list of books that I'm really wanting to read. I would probably say, maybe these are basic, but it's because I haven't read enough super, super good ones. But I did love The Silent Patient. I loved The Only One Left, Riley Sager, and Look Closer by David Ellis. If you guys have any recs for me, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always looking for more because I do love them, especially if it's a good audiobook. Favorite TV series? This is such a hard question. So I used to watch so many TV shows. I actually have a list on my phone of every TV show I have watched and my rating of them. I think my highest rated ones would be Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Maybe that's basic, but I truly think it's one of the best things I've seen ever. Also, love Stranger Things. Severance was phenomenal. I would say as far as like comedies go, Schitt's Creek, New Girl, The Office. And then for like feel good TV shows, I love Parenthood and This Is Us. I might be missing something, but that's a big list. Favorite TV series? Let me give you 12. What book boyfriend is most like your husband? That is such a good and interesting question. I think as far as romance books go, I don't own the physical copy of this, but I would probably say Justin from Just for the Summer. And we talked about this on the podcast episode recently about how a book is really good when you can remember the main character's name. And I think one of the reasons I can remember Justin's name is just because his character was 100% my husband. He's just like a big acts of service guy, just like taking care of people. That's just like my husband to a T. And just like his voice in the book. Yeah, I would probably say Justin for a romance book. And that's by Abby Jimenez. And then for a fantasy book, my husband is blonde. Oh, wait. I might have to say Draco Malfoy. And before you're like, what? Hear me out. Obviously, my husband is not a morally great person, okay? But I would say probably Draco because, like, my husband, like I said, he's a big acts of service guy. And you cannot tell me that Draco Malfoy in Manacled is not, like, the top-tier acts of service person. I also feel like there's a lot of lines in this book that he said that I almost like heard in my husband's voice just by like the way my husband speaks to me. I don't know. I'm gonna go with that. We're just gonna go with it. Favorite books to read to your kids? I love any of the Wonderbly, I think that's what they're called, books where you can create them with your kids' names in them. My mom has gifted me 2 of them for Mother's Day, and when I tell you, they make me sob because you can like create them to be with the ages of your kids, their names, and kind of what they look like. A great gift to give to somebody, and the stories are so sweet. They're so cute. I love me some Sandra Boynton, of course, and the classics like the Very Hungry Caterpillar. But I think if I had to say maybe someone that not everyone has heard of, Oliver Jeffers. They have such great messages behind them and they're also so fun. My daughter's always laughing at them and we spend so much time reading those and her looking at the pages and all the artwork. It's they're such great books. So I highly recommend checking out Oliver Jeffers. Next question. When did you start photography and your favorite thing to photograph? I started video first, actually, right after I graduated high school, so like 2014. So it's been like 11 years, which is mind-blowing. So I started off with video, but I added photography not soon after that. Right now, my favorite thing is families. I never thought I would enjoy taking family photos because I used to hate them, but I became a mother and I was like, give me all the family photo sessions. So that's probably my favorite thing, but more specifically, probably just like my own family. Oh, this one's so cute. Favorite thing about Kennedy and Michaela. Okay, we'll start with Kennedy. I think my favorite thing about Kennedy is the fact that I could tell her literally anything and she would not judge me. She wouldn't even bat an eye. She would just be like there for me. There's nothing I can't tell that girl. My favorite thing about Michaela would probably be the fact that she just brings out the best in everyone around her. Like me specifically. It's not even that Michaela's young because Michaela's younger than me, but like I feel so much younger around her, and just like the energy that she brings is just so fun, and I feel so much like myself when I hang out with Michaela. And I've seen the same in other people when we're in like a group setting. If you could teleport anywhere for 24 hours, where would you go and what would you do? I would go to Valaris, the city of stars. That's where I would go. As far as what I would do, a lot of things. I'd be flying, stargazing, eating some good soup. Valaris, 100%. That one was easy. Next book you're most excited to read. Ooh, The Kiss of Fallen Dusk. I can't remember the title exactly, by Carissa Broadbent. Also, I don't know if you guys have seen the new special editions she has coming out. I'm so excited about them. I think it's just for the first two books, The Serpent and the Wings of the Night and Ashes in the Starker's King, which these are, I need to swap these. That's gonna bother me. I'm very excited about that one. I'm also really excited for Night and Moth. I've yet to read that and I've heard great things. I love Rachel Gillig. What's your current read and your next read? My current read, like I said in the beginning, is Drown in the Name of Love. I don't want to butcher your name, so I'm going to put your name here. I'm loving it. It's like a pirate romance, I think. I mean, I'm only 25% of the way through, but I'm obsessed. The vibes. Essentially, it's about this girl who her father is a pirate, and when she's a kid, he is hung by the kingdom, and then the kingdom takes her under their wing. And as she grows up, she's then to be married to the king's son, the captain of the guard. And the wedding day arrives and chaos ensues. I'll just leave it at that. I'm loving it. I've just been dying to get my hands on it and read. And then I just recently finished, like an hour ago, The Other Side of Now by Paige Harbison. And you guys, I loved it. I loved it so much. I feel like Paige's writing is very, very beautiful. And she's absolutely hilarious. I listened to the audiobook and she narrates it, which was really, really, really fun. And there's just there's a lot of themes in there of grief, friendship, just like finding yourself. And I didn't expect it to be such an emotional read, but I cried multiple times as I was listening to the book. It was fantastic. But my next read, is Tower of Dawn. Can't wait to read that. I'll be listening to that starting tomorrow. And I think after I finish my physical read of Drown in the Name of Love, I'll be starting Shield of Sparrows because that is our book club book for July. Surprise! I don't think we've announced that yet. And that's all the questions I had. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video. As always, you can subscribe for more YouTube videos and content. We release podcast episodes every Wednesday. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And you can also join us on Fable as we read our monthly book club books. So we do episodes for that at the beginning of every Wednesday. You can also shop our merch at allreadwhatshe'sreading.com. And thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye!